Clemson University was officially founded at the Fort Hill place in South Carolina due to a land grant and a wish from Thomas Green Clemson in his will. Clemson began as a military college in 1889 and took its first class of 446 cadets in 1893. Thomas Green Clemson was the son-in-law to John C. Calhoun, who was given the Fort Hill property by his wife's brothers. After he died in 1850, Mrs. Calhoun sold it to her son, allowing him to pay for it on a mortgage. She died in 1866, and in her will, she said that since the debt had not been paid off in full, 3/4 of the leftover payments would go to her daughter, Mrs. Clemson, and 1/4 to her granddaughter. Not long after her mom's death, Mrs. Clemson foreclosed the mortgage against her brother, and the property was put up for public auction in 1872. Mr. Clemson bid on it at $15,000 for his wife and daughter. Mrs. Clemson died in September 1875 and left the property to her husband, in which she stated, "It shall be absolutely and in fee simple." Mr. Clemson had past experience in the founding of universities and throughout his life had taken particular interest in agricultural sciences. In his later life, he was president of the Pendleton Farmers Society. He also studied science and mining in Europe. In 1868, he played an active role in a movement trying to use $180,000 worth of congressional land grants to build 4 agricultural colleges to be located in the 4 quarters of the state of South Carolina. He passed away April 6, 1888. In his will he states, "The desire to establish such a school or college as I have provided for in my said last will and testament has existed with me for many years past, and many years ago I determined to devote the bulk of my property to the establishment of an agricultural school or college. To accomplish this purpose is now one great desire of my life. I therefore give the aforesaid Fort Hill place, where I now reside, formerly the house of my father-in-law, John C. Calhoun, consisting of 814 acres, more or less, and trust that, whenever the state of South Carolina may accept said property as a donation from me, for the purpose of thereupon founding an agricultural college, in accordance with the views I have hereinbefore expressed, of which the Chief Justice of South Carolina shall be the judge." He gave many details regarding the legislature of the university, such as appointing 7 trustees, as well as stating rules and requirements to keep it running.
Was witnessed there and then was taken back by Mr. Simpson and kept in his file until Mr. Clemson died on April the 6th, 1888, which was a year and a half later. Mr. Clemson's will does not say anything about the race, the gender of the person who comes here to school. That makes his document out of step with the times and a great forward step for Clemson, and it has allowed Clemson to progress very peacefully and very quietly across time.
In November 1889, Governor John Peters signed a bill accepting the property, and in July 1893, Clemson Agricultural College. In 1963, Clemson became the first traditionally white school in South Carolina to desegregate with the acceptance of Harvey Gantt. In 1964, the name was changed to Clemson University, and today the State University continues to offer students undergraduate and graduate degrees in a variety of fields, but continues to offer higher education in agricultural fields and sciences, just as Thomas Green Clemson envisioned.